On to the next story. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate your presence. The final story is about CNN over the last week or two hating and targeting American soldiers in Iraq. Just when you thought they couldn't stoop any lower, they stoop lower. And I'm really praying for 2019, because with the mainstream liberal agenda on Good Morning America, on Twitter, on Apple, all these news networks, I just don't know how much lower they can go. I'm thinking the pendulum has to swing back, because they've done everything insane and disgusting that they could possibly do. They're sexualizing like 11-year-old boys and hiding behind the LGBT mask. They're doing everything terrible that you could possibly do. So I'm thinking the pendulum has to swing back. There's no more lower that they can go. But to end out the new year, I thought they couldn't go lower. They did. First, I want to say, you can't please the Trump-hating community, because it's not actually about policy. It's not about common sense. It's not about truth. It's not about love. It's not about compassion. It's not about justice. It's not about fairness. It's not about saving lives. It's specifically about hating Trump and doing the opposite of what he did and trying to remove him as quick as possible so they can feel good about themselves, even though they're already probably depressed and hate themselves. And the truth is, even without Trump, they're not going to love themselves, because they're scapegoating Trump for all of their own problems in their personal life. You see this a lot. It's like, oh, it's that. No, it's you, and you're a psychopath, and you need to heal yourself, because when Trump's gone, you're going to realize you're still miserable and depressed and want to, do all these terrible things. It's not just him. But anyway, Alyssa Milano said a day before Trump flew to Iraq, she said, President Trump is the first president to not go spend part of Christmas or Christmas time with the troops. So that's their response before that. They say, Trump is, he's selfish. He won't go spend time with the truth. He's a terrible person. So they're pushing the agenda of Trump needs to go spend time with the troops because he's a terrible person for now. And they're also pushing, months ago, they were saying Trump is being too hawkish. He's doing too much war-wise. He's doing all these terrible things, funding these people. And then he pulls out, and of course now they're anti-war. But anyway, so that's the narrative. And then Trump flies to Iraq and spends Christmas time with the soldiers, and there's a lot of people there that really like him. There's videos, maybe I'll share them later, of the troops going crazy over President Trump. They love him, and that's great. You would think, like, to me, even if it was Obama or anyone else, just let them have that moment. Like, that's not the big scoop. Like, Obama going to spend Christmas time with the troops is not the big scoop. Trump going to spend time with the troops is not the big scoop. It's just not the big scoop, especially when you're drone striking children and starting 7 wars and selling billions of dollars of weapons to other countries. Like, the big scoop is not him having a good day with the troops. It's just not. But CNN, Alyssa Milano, all these people, they're psychopath, completely delusional people. And I don't say that like I'm happy. I feel bad, especially for Alyssa Milano. She, on television, tells people she suffers from mental health and she's very mentally ill. And I could see that. And so is Kathy Griffin. And I don't take pleasure in that. I think they should seek help and maybe start a family or do something that would make them happy. I don't know. And I'm not joking, being sarcastic. I seriously think they need help. I pray for Kathy Griffin and Alyssa Milano. I really do, because they have mental illness, and some of it, I believe, is self-inflicted. They got to stop doing that. But anyway, now that he spends time with the troops, CNN starts running all these anti-military things where they're saying, first of all, they go at Trump. It says he's signing a bunch of hats and he's signing a bunch of pictures, and that's illegal because you're not allowed to do autographs. And then, of course, videos and pictures surface of Obama signing autographs for the troop, because no one cared before President Trump. Like, the big scoop is not Trump signing an autograph for someone. That's a nice thing to do. I don't care if it's Alyssa Milano. I don't care if it's whoever. If they go to another country and people want autographs and pictures, take pictures and autographs. I don't care if you're the most liberal, Trump-hating, America-hating person on the world. That's fine. That's not the big scoop, is someone signing autographs. And it's absolutely pathetic that I have to sit here and say this. I guess I don't, but I'm doing it. So that's not the big scoop. Obama did it. Every president did it, because that's what you do when someone wants an autograph. If you're nice, you sign it. So they run all these things and saying Trump's possibly violating some sort of law doing that. Can't even let him have a good time with the troops on Christmas time. So even though there's pictures of all other presidents doing it. So they say that completely, disgraceful narrative. And then they start actually attacking military people for having Trump hats and Trump flags and just, having a good time, saying that might violate stuff. So it's just pathetic that these people put their lives on the line for wars that CNN helps orchestrate. You have to understand, CNN is not even just like Fox or MSNBC, which are horrible. CNN is a world global news network that creeps their way into every single country and origin. Like, they're all over the place. They go to Syria, they go here, they go there. They're like a global war network. They are anti-America and pro-war. They are anti-America and pro-war. They are not pro-liberal. They are not pro-democratic values. They are a sneaky news network who hates America and loves war. So they're very upset with Trump because he's criticizing the Federal Reserve fairly. He's pulling the troops out of Syria, which is a war that they helped orchestrate. You have to understand, Syria is a secular country. When you talk about the Middle East and how crazy it may be in certain places, Syria is one of the only places that it doesn't really show favor towards Islam. They have Christmas trees. They love Christmas in Syria. You should see some of their beautiful Christmas ceremonies. So what CNN helped do with Democrats and probably Republicans too, they destroyed Libya. They killed the leader. There's slave trade, organ harvesting. They've absolutely screwed up Libya royally. And then they tried to do the same exact thing in Syria. And they started the refugee crisis that destabilized Europe. They messed up the Middle East. They messed up Syria. They messed up Libya. They messed up Europe. It's like everything they do, they ruin everything. And Trump reversed the policy, the $1 million rebel policy, or $1 billion, I'm not sure. I think it's billion. Rebel policy. He's taken the troops out of Iraq. He's taken the troops out of Afghanistan. They've been there for decades. Nothing's really gotten better. So not only will they attack Trump because they're an anti-American war network, but now they're attacking the troops. And you have to understand, this is what they do, and this is also why they lost. Trump, if you notice, he never attacks, and honestly, I need to do a better job of this because I do sometimes, and it's probably not a good strategy, and people say that to me, and I agree. I just get a little carried away sometimes. But Trump never attacks the followers. I do it. I'm a civilian. I'm not running for office. I do it as a challenge. I'm trying to intellectually challenge people. Have respect for yourself. Don't let people lie to you. I'm trying to do it as a friend. When I say things that might come off mean, I'm trying to give tough love because I truly want to help people. But I know it comes off wrong, and I could maybe do a better job of that. But Trump never, he's actually great at this. He never attacks Hillary supporters. He never attacked Bernie supporters. He never attacks liberals. He might make a few jokes. He attacks their leadership. He'll go at Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. Honestly, he goes at Bernie Sanders, but he's actually supported Bernie Sanders more than Bernie Sanders supported himself. When Bernie got mistreated, Trump had 20 tweets about it. Bernie didn't say a thing. Trump stands up for Bernie more than Bernie stands up for Bernie, and that's sad. But he only attacks the leadership. What Hillary did, what Bernie does sometimes, not that much, what CNN does, what MSNBC does, what Vox does, what all of these news networks do, all these liberal news networks, they don't just attack Trump, which is annoying enough, but they do it all the time. They actually attack everyone who supports him. They literally stalked and doxed this old woman. They went to her house and literally aired, these people are sick and disgusting. But they literally are like airing out anybody, whether it's Kanye, some random old woman from middle America, the troops who literally put their lives on the line to support this country. They attack everyone and anyone who even comes close to supporting Trump or even stays neutral. I mean, Tiger Woods, for Christ's sakes. Sorry for using the Lord's name in vain, but Tiger Woods didn't even support the president, although he probably does. He said, you got to respect the guy who's in office. That's all he said, a neutral statement. He's like, regardless of policies and politics, the guy is the commander-in-chief, and it is what it is. Like that, you can't get a more neutral statement. That's what like a sane Democrat would say. That's what I would say to Obama. But he says that, and they try to ruin Tiger Woods' life. They're attacking military members. It's sick. These people are anti-America and pro-war. They are not liberal. They're not progressive. They're not kind. They're not compassionate. They are pro-war. They love wars. They love regime change wars where they can go kill the leader and make an extremist, power vacuum for slave traders, open air slave markets like in Libya that they helped create. They hate America. And it's obvious. I mean, you're talking about a news network. The entire year, they have spent, I don't want to make a fake statistic, but a large percentage of their, power to support illegal immigrants, more so than they have American citizens. So the whole year, they're lobbying for illegal immigrants. MSNBC even made their Twitter banner, illegal immigrant caravan coming towards the border. They're supporting the caravan that's trying to come through the U.S. border. Isn't that a little crazy, even if you're a Democrat? I always say, I understand why people would support illegal immigrants. Like, I'm not even, and a lot of people here probably don't, but I'm a nice person. I'm saying, I understand why you would support illegal immigrants. But if you're an American news network and an American politician, and you prioritize the caravan and illegal immigrants, I'm talking about prioritize the caravan and illegal immigrants more than you do your citizens, you're a psychopath. I mean, no one should watch you. No one should vote. This goes for any country. If you're a Mexican news network and you support Honduran people invading the border more than you support your own citizens, you're an absolute psychopath. And it's insane. I don't care if it's Honduras, Mexico, Guatemala, Iraq. Like, you shouldn't be supporting illegal immigrants more than you support your own people. That's very simple. Has nothing to do with race, religion, or gender. It's basic common sense of what a leader. If I'm the coach of the New York Knicks and I support the Pistons more than I support the Knicks, I'm a psychopath. Fire me immediately. Very simple. It's your country. That's literally what you do. So CNN spent the entire year promoting and supporting and endorsing illegal immigrants while they viciously hated on an entire race and an entire group of people in their own country. And then at the end of the year, they close out the year by attacking U.S. troops. It is so clear to me. CNN is an anti-America news network masquerading themselves as American. Don Lemon, Anderson Cooper, Brian Stelter, the entire organization, the staff, a lot of them probably are just useful idiots there. Jake Tapper, once out of every 50 reports, does something really incredible, and I like him for that. But CNN is an anti-American news network, and it has nothing, don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not saying that everybody who disagrees with Trump is anti-American. I'm not saying that everybody who's not conservative is anti-American. Far from it. But CNN is anti-American. They spend all their time and energy supporting illegal immigrants, and MSNBC and the New York Times and the Washington Post. They care about illegal immigrants more than their own citizens, and they attack men and women who are part of the military. That's what a foreign news network would do. Who cares about Russia and China when you have United States citizens who are trying to bring down their own country, who support invasions and people from other countries and whatever you want to say, workers, kind, loving people. I don't care how you want to frame it, but they support them 20,000 times, and they support their own citizens basically 0 times. I mean, in California the other day, I don't know his race, but it looked like he was Indian based on his name. An Indian man. They claim to care so much about minorities. We love people with darker skin, says them. Well, one just got murdered by an illegal immigrant, and he was a police officer, but they don't even pretend to care about police. So you have an Indian American, I think, trying to protect his country. He has a 5-year-old son, or 5-month-old son, or at least somewhere in that range. I don't want to misquote. He has a son. He has a family. Well, guess what? He just got permanently separated by his family because he got murdered by the people that you support all the time. And I'm not trying to hyper sensationalize this and say that you can't have an argument for illegal immigration or whatever. But what I'm saying is, if you 100% of the time support illegal immigrants, you 0% of the time support American citizens, you nonstop critique them, you nonstop try to take away their rights, you nonstop attack them, and then you end the year by attacking American military members in Iraq. These people are grade A scumbags. They're absolutely anti-America. They're anti-everything good. And I just wanted to really drive that point home, because it's like, what else can they do? I can only assume that 2019 is going to be an amazing year. I had a good year this year amongst all the chaos, but I can only assume 2019 is going to be a good year, because how much lower could you possibly go? It's like every time they go lower, they actually have to dig a tunnel towards hell to go any lower. And they're doing it every single day. I'm like, the bar can't possibly go lower. They go lower. They go lower. They attack military members in Iraq. They sexualize 11-year-old boys. Like, how much closer to hell do you guys want to go? Pro-extinction article. Like, you're literally standing in hell, blazing on fire, and you keep digging yourself. You're going to end up, I don't even know if you can go any lower. You're in the Earth's mantle, and you're just digging yourself in a deeper hole. It's absolutely pathetic. And it just really bothers me that they don't just attack Trump, which is fine. They don't attack his ideals almost ever, because his ideals actually make a lot of sense. If you take out the emotion and hype and race and stuff behind it, if you just go common sense, they make sense. They can't do that. So what they do is they attack his personality, they attack him, they attack his family, they attack everyone who supports him, and now they're even attacking U.S. military members for supporting him and trying to get them thrown out, it's just absolutely insane. So I assume 2019 is going to be a good year. But with them in control of the House, the Lord knows they're not going to use that power to try to help Americans. They're going to use that power to help everyone under the sun but Americans and take out the one guy who's really actually helping Americans of every race, religion, and gender. And I see it all the time. I see it everywhere. All the people who support him, maybe they don't want to say it. Maybe they do say it, and they'll never get picked up by mass media. I talked to a girl the other day who had a psycho ex-boyfriend who came to her house and assaulted her, and now she's really big on the Second Amendment and can protect herself and feel safe and is safe because of the Second Amendment. That's what the Second Amendment's about. This girl was not white, was the minority that one of the minorities that the news claims to care about, but they'll never tell you that story because it's pro-Second Amendment. And their agenda is anti-America, anti-First Amendment, anti-Second Amendment. So, of course, they're not going to tell you those stories, but millions of them exist. I hear them, I listen, and it's a beautiful time to be alive. Got a little intense today, but it was fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I did myself in a weird way. It's some pretty deep, sensitive stuff, but I know from the core of my heart, mind, and soul that it's not remotely hateful. It's all love to everybody, American citizens, people from every country, every race, religion, and gender, status of legality or illegality. I don't really care. It's a beautiful time to be alive. And I say these things because I know that when you use certain races, certain religions, certain genders, certain people as a scapegoat to push forward a really bad agenda, it's going to hurt everybody of all kinds. And when I can pull, the veil away a little bit, although people might find it off-putting or maybe mean or something sometimes, although I would argue and say that I'm not very mean at all, but it could be perceived anyway. I'm trying to pull the veil away so people can have real discussions that will actually help people. So I hope people enjoyed that. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you, Joy. Thank you again. I'll be back. I'm going to work even harder in 2019, but I'm also going to try to enjoy myself. I feel like, life is a beautiful thing, so I'm going to try to have as much fun as possible, but, I can't lay off the work. So thank you, guys. Have a great day, and thank you to everybody supporting. I have my stuff. What's it called? I have it pinned to the top, my Patreon, my donor box. Thank you for supporting on that. And I also have my free email list. I didn't send out a Christmas email yet, but I'm going to get on it. I'm back to my computer now, so today or tomorrow, maybe the next day. Maybe I'll wait till Monday. Seems like a better day. I'll send out that newsletter. So if you don't want to miss that, sign up to my free email list. Also, it's very important because of internet censorship. Nothing is forever. If I have your emails, it's just one way to stay in touch. That's why I don't spam you. I don't sell pretty much nothing at this point. Maybe eventually I will, but I don't send you a message every day or every week. I send one every month or 2 months, so I'm not annoying. Just please sign up for that so I can stay in contact at any time. If I end up doing a little tour and trying to meet people in person and stuff, we'll get on that. So thank you guys for signing up to that. Thank you to everyone supporting on Patreon or Donor Box, and most importantly, thank you for just being here. Thank you for supporting in every which way, watching, sharing, commenting, liking, sending me nice messages, whatever. I really do appreciate that. And it's been a beautiful year thanks to you guys. So thanks.